Welcome to the Weather Guru podcast for this Sunday, March 30th, 2025, the last Sunday in March here, the forecast for the lower 48 United States here. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button for the Weather Guru for the latest updates and weather interpretation of the lower 48. I appreciate everyone's support, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we're looking at the current surface temperature map here, courtesy of pivotalweather.com, and you can see a huge surge of warmth all the way up to Chicago, 71 degrees Fahrenheit there today, 78 degrees Fahrenheit for Florida Panhandle to Tallahassee, 79 degrees Fahrenheit Miami, 75 degrees Fahrenheit for the Shenandoah Valley and DC area. So everywhere's experiencing a surge of warmth from the southwest or southeast here, if you're in the mid-Atlantic, in the northeast. As far as the spring temperatures go here, very spring-like, even into Dallas-Fort Worth, 89 degrees Fahrenheit, and over toward the sun country of Phoenix, 81 degrees Fahrenheit for you, and warming and climbing there. Cool weather toward the northern tier, confined up into the upper North Dakota and International Falls and the Great Lakes there. During some cool weather there, highs on the 30s, on the low to mid 30s today, with snow showers continuing around the Great Upper Peninsula and the Canadian border there. As well as the extreme northeast of Maine and New Hampshire and Vermont. Those states continue to remain on the cool side today. But overall, not a bad spring day here. Looking at National Weather Service hazards, you can see that perfectly denoted here. You can see that if you're in Wisconsin, Rice Lake, north of there, up into Green Bay, north of there along 43, and along Iron Mountain and the UP, and up toward the upper Michigan parts, heading over towards Sault Ste. Marie, Cadillac, out to 131 there in Michigan. You can see it in pink here. There's ice warnings in purple, and then in pink winter storm warnings. So you want to watch out for that this morning and this afternoon. Now we do have a weather advisory just in the upper Minnesota, St. Paul area, north of Bemidji, and those areas there. In Hibbett Lake, you have some areas there where you have some winter weather advisory. But you guys are used to that there in that part of the country. Now out west, we have the brown for the high wind watches, the north and south mountains of Nevada there, from Ely all the way down to Carson City. And Nevada, and Las Vegas, Sparks, Henderson, all of you guys included, Grand Canyon, Wind Country. So come along Interstate 11 there, heading into town at 15 or 215 or 515. Be very careful there. High wind warnings for high profile vehicles. And also out, this extends into the California Basin, the Mojave Desert, the high deserts, up into the Sierra Canyon. And there will be some snow showers there with that pink in there for the high Sierra there, but nothing too crazy that we're not used to this time of year. Help the water table there out there a lot later on in springtime. And that's what we have going on for the advisories. Now, the Storm Prediction Center has its mesocyclonic analysis sectors here for these rain showers that are coming through the lower Ohio Valley. Most of this is going to be just hail and straight line winds here, but the convective outlook does show an enhanced risk for today, and that's in brown. So if you're coming along I-75, 71 in Ohio, maybe coming down through the Cleveland, through Louisville, Lexington, Memphis, Tupelo, Greenville, back into Shreveport, those areas are an enhanced risk for severe weather here. Good cities like Detroit, Indianapolis, like I said, Columbus, Memphis, Nashville. This with large hail, damaging winds above 60-mile-an-hour winds, gusts there. Tornado threat is low, but that's possible. There could be a few spin-ups here and there as we look through the day. So most of the severe weather is confined to the eastern two-thirds of the country. Marginal thunderstorms in Florida, marginal thunderstorms outside of that in the Gulf Coast, anywhere from Pensacola to Apalachicola back to Biloxi, Mobile Bay, New Orleans, Homer, back towards Cameron Parish, you're in the marginal risk. And everybody else is just general garden variety thunderstorms in the green. Out west there, say anywhere from Tracy, California, Redden, back into Eugene, Coos Bay, back toward Portland, back in Oregon, Yakima, and back toward this interior Boise and the stovepipe of Idaho. Just interior, just regular general variety thunderstorms there, not enhanced 0 out of 5 risk for you guys. And also for Denver, the Front Range. So we're coming along 70 in the Front Range there, and I'm back toward the airport, back into Denver, and 25 Junction, the Mousetrap. Be careful there. Some general garden variety thunderstorms there at the onset there. Now, looking at the water vapor, you can see we're dealing with a lot of moisture here. A lot of moisture in the upper plains, a lot of moisture in the southeast here corridor. Jacksonville, that 95 ride from Jacksonville to St. Augustine down the Palm Coast and into the I-4 corridor towards Orlando and westward. Winter Garden, hello to you guys, and Lady Lake, and back towards Wildwood and Ocala. 441 may be tricky going into 75 there. And as these rain showers continue to make their impact down south there, we also have rains out west. Like I said, that moisture in the four corners there, so be very careful. Denver, the Cheyenne, back toward Colorado Springs, and heading west towards 70 in the Continental Divide. Now, this dry air is penetrating Texas, fairly well in Oklahoma, so you guys should be relatively stable this morning. But we have to watch and see how that is. This hail, we watch out for the hailstorms here. You can see these higher cloud tops here. This is south of the DFW Metroplex, so we're talking areas like Corsicana, Mahia. Down towards the, coming down that way. That's where you expect Tyler maybe. In those areas toward Texarkana, you may be experiencing some 1 to 2 inch hail there. Just look out for that this morning and into the early afternoon. Looking at the setup for today, March 30th, 2025. This is your surface map for today, Sunday. We're going to see that heavy, severe thunderstorms possible as you've seen on this SPC outlook. And this is outlined in yellow and gray here. And then everything is possible in that zone there. So this one will be outlook for that. Snow across the upper tier though. This is going to be light snow, mixed precipitation because we're mixing in with rain here from the Black Hills of South Dakota across I-80 there in Nebraska, Iowa, the Four Corners. I'm at the 4 cities, Quad Cities, and then back into the Wisconsin area here where you're going to be having that freezing rain possible here in this pink and gray area. So freezing rain is possible once again from areas north of Kenosha and Milwaukee. Back towards the UP of Michigan here, Sault Ste. Marie, Houghton, Michigan, freezing rain mixing with snow, heavy snow at times, and then that's going to extend back in the Canadian province here of Ontario. So this is going to extend, if you're coming along Canada, for those entering Canada, if you're coming along the 401 there, it's going to be rain until you get past east of Toronto, and then you're going to start seeing snow mixing in with heavy freezing rain there in that area. And of course, it extends over toward the uphill country of New York, Tokyo Plateau, and the Adirondacks, and then up into Vermont and New Hampshire, Green White Mountains, and all of Maine. It's possible this freezing rain is going to be mixing in with snow, kind of a mixed bag of precipitation. New York City, you miss out on that. There's rain. So does Boston. You miss out on that. You can just be dealing with rain, cold rain there. And then general garden variety thunderstorms all up and down the East Coast. So 95, 75 is going to be impacted by this, by these thunderstorms. 20. Interstate 20, if you're coming along west of Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, 2059 toward Jackson, 220 in Jackson, and then heading back into Arkansas, Conway, Arkansas, back up into those provinces there as well. Now, out west, we do have something here highlighted here for March 30th, 2025. I want to bring your attention to in New Mexico. So Las Cruces, Troops and Consequences, Anthony, New Mexico, back toward the Santa Fe and back toward the border in Albuquerque. Critical fire danger there, so no burning, probably a burn ban in place there. So be very careful on I-25, I-40, I-10 there, coming out of the Rio Grande Valley there in New Mexico. Burn ban is in place, critical fire danger. Now heading toward Monday for tomorrow, March 31st, the first workday, first workday and the last day of March 31st, that severe thunderstorms extend with this frontal boundary here ahead of it into the East Coast, the critical I-95 corridor, once again from Baltimore, Maryland, down into D.C., Richmond, Virginia, down in the Research Triangle, Raleigh-Durham, into South Carolina, Columbia, Greenville, Spartanburg, Atlanta, Macon, back into the Panhandle, Tallahassee, Panama City, Pensacola, back into Birmingham, all these areas, Dothan. All these areas are going to be impacted by severe thunderstorms in the yellow and black here. So Monday, plan to do your plans early because these storms could be coming in anywhere from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the afternoon as this frontal boundary advances here to cool us off. Now out west, snow continues here. Mixed precipitation, most likely snow in the Intermountain West and in the high plains, but nothing too crazy here. But heavy snow is possible, of course, in the northern Sierras there as usual. But rain is going to be extending all the way down to San Diego this time, tomorrow, Monday, March 31st, 2025. So be very careful for a wet commute on the 5 or the 15 freeway in LA, between LA and San Diego, or the 5 or the PCH from Malibu up north all the way into all the way into San Francisco Bay Area. It's gonna be a wet commute on Monday, March 31st here. So that's the setup that we have here. And we also, for Tuesday, the 1st of April, we have that continuing, but the severe weather shifts now. The cold front has already advanced through the eastern United States, heading offshore here, and it just leaves around some remnant showers here along the Gulf Coast, as well as the lower plains, and the severe thunderstorms area shrinks, as you notice here. It shrinks just into this area here between Topeka, Wichita, Kansas, Ferguson, Missouri, back towards Iowa, Des Moines, and back into Chicago, Illinois, just west of Chicago. So you're talking places out here like Aurora and Springfield, just to the west of there. So that's where we have that severe weather shrinking. That's good news. And then we just have your general garden variety mixed precipitation up north in blue here, which just means kind of scattered snow showers with this occluded front that's coming down from Alberta, Canada, and the prairies there. It's going to provide enough lift and moisture to provide heavy snow area here for northern Minnesota here. So if you're north of Rochester, Minnesota, into Minneapolis, St. Paul, Mall, Bemidji, maybe toward Rice Lake, Wisconsin, Toma. Be very careful. There's going to be heavy snow in that zone, extending into the 94 corridor from Fargo, North Dakota, back into Jamestown, South Dakota, and those areas too. Heavy snow in that area. So this one there, Weather Guru update for March 30th, 2025. Please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care. God bless.